want to start off, you can introduce yourself.
Yeah. Okay, my name's Erin. I work with Solutions Staffing, and I've been with them for 9 years as casual nurse in mostly remote communities and with public health assignments. And I've enjoyed every assignment I've had with them.
How did you decide you wanted to be a nurse?
I wanted to help people, and I tried to do the Bachelor of Science for medical school, failed miserably, and I thought, well, what else can I do that's science related but can also get me a guaranteed job after? Yeah. And at the time, nursing, I applied for nursing because I don't know if you know, but the show ER was on TV, okay? Yeah. So George Clooney, right? It inspired me. I wanted to do that, and I wanted to help people in sort of that critical care capacity. So that was always a goal. I just didn't know how to get there until I heard about nursing. Well, that was in 2002.
Wow.
And here I am today still doing different jobs within nursing. So it's been proven to be a really great option.
It's amazing. And to think it all started with George Clooney.
All started with George Clooney. I went to Douglas College in New Westminster, and I did the diploma option. A couple of years later, I decided to finish my degree, and so I did it online through University of Victoria. Now it's all a 4-year thing, but yeah, so when I finished my diploma, I got a job right away at Vancouver General and started working, and it was great because I was getting some good money and I could pay off some of the student loans, and it was a great introduction to different types of nursing. And then after a number of years, I got into the community and realized there's a whole nother world of jobs.
Outside of that.
Outside of the hospital, yeah. So that was a good thing to stumble across.
And how did you hear about Solutions Staffing?
I just looked them up online. So when I first got a job, I worked in neuro. And then I applied to work in the emergency department of Vancouver General. But I wanted some more sort of generalist assessments, and I decided to work with Solutions. That was the only agency I heard about at the time within my local area, which was the Lower Mainland, to work in more like medical wards, to get some more experience with the general body before I started my Emerge program. Then I did the Emerge program and worked in VGH for quite a while. And then I took a break from contracts and just focused on where I was living. And then in 2012, I decided to do some more remote stuff. I got on with Solutions again, renewed all my, certificates and all those things I needed, and started doing remote contracts. With Solutions, you can really push yourself, challenge yourself in terms of with your education and your career, or you can just travel and work in all sorts of places along the country. I've only been in BC, but I've been to some places of BC that I never would have gone to if I didn't work there. So
small communities or places you wouldn't even hear about.
Isolated.
Very.
So you can only get there by float plane, you can only get there by one ferry that works once a week, like those types of things. So it wouldn't have...
Definitely different experience.
Oh yeah. And using your different resources, and for example, if you're the only one there, you have to make sure you're up to date with your assessments and you're confident in your assessment processes, and then so that you can relay that to, say, a physician on the other end of the phone, because that's all you have. So, and how do you take care of that person in the meantime? Yeah, it's been an eye-opener.
That's incredible. It's a whole different side of it.
Oh yeah.
Is that something you learned about when you were doing your nursing degree?
In 2010, I got a job with Health Canada, and they put me through the advanced nursing course for Remote Certified. It was when Remote Certified first came in, and so I did a 6-week course doing that, so advanced assessments, because then when you do go up north, you need those assessment skills, right? I worked with them for 2 years, and then in 2012, I went just with Solutions. So through that course, I was able to learn about how to look at an ear and how to look at a throat and pediatric assessments, how to do prenatal assessments. So it's a whole big world of advanced assessments that I learned through that course and have been able to use still today. And then so when I went back to Solutions, I just had to renew my ACLS, which is all these critical care sort of certifications. And then on top of it, I was able to do my immunization course so I could give vaccines. Like it's a whole, it encompasses the health of all ages with remote nursing, and I really value that. There's a lot of interesting people you meet in those areas because you meet the whole lifespan, and you can follow people a little more closely, and you can see them after they've gone through a crisis. You can still see them, and sometimes in Emerge you don't get that because usually I work in the emergency department in various hospitals, but you don't get the follow-up, and so there's not that sort of closure. Really? Yeah. So in remote nursing, you live and work in the community.
You kind of get to build a bit of a closer bond with them as well.
Yeah, and you get to know families. You get to know cultural practices. You get to know beliefs. And it's all eye-opening. It really is.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah. And so you just sort of take pieces of that and put it in your toolbox. Just keep learning.
Yeah.
That's what I love about it.
You never stop learning.
You never stop learning.
No.
And you can always push yourself a little further. Sometimes you're out of your comfort zone, but Solutions has been so supportive with me, all the things I've done, that I've felt that I was comfortable going out of my comfort zone. That makes sense. Like I felt really supported. If you've ever worked with another agency nurse in sort of, say, your home site, you understand what they're going through. They're literally just jumping in. And that's what I've done. And so there's compassion there. It's like, oh, okay, you had a 4-hour orientation for your emergency department that I've worked in for a year and still don't know where things are. So there's a sense of like understanding and family, you know. It's like, oh, I know what you're going through. I can help you on your home site when you're the one that's out there. Most of the nurses I've come in contact with are like, it's like a family. It's like, oh, where are you from? What's your experience? Well, let's do this together. Let's learn about this together.
Yeah.
So it's really cool.
If you could travel nurse anywhere in the whole world, where would you want to go?
Well, BC has been pretty amazing. It's so beautiful, this province of ours. It's
Very
amazing.
diverse.
Oh, very diverse. And you can do so many different things. I would probably love to try like New Zealand or Australia because it's a similar-ish healthcare system. So, you know, I could adapt a little quicker. Plus, I've been to New Zealand and it's phenomenal. Yeah, it's like a mix of West Coast forest with jungle. It's beautiful. Anyways,
Incredible.
yeah.
If I could live there, I would.
Yeah.
If you had any advice to give anyone new to the travel nursing world, what would your best advice be for them?
Well, I would say figure out where you're going to get your food from. That's the biggest, the biggest
That's a
barrier.
really good one.
Yeah, either bring your foods that you normally eat because you're not going to find them everywhere. Bring it in. Figure out if you need to get it shipped in or if you can carry it in your luggage weight. That's the biggest learning curve I had because, you know, it's hard to pare down in packing.
Yeah.
Right? But the food is really, really important because really at the end of the day, that's just sort of your comfort zone is the food you bring from home or little things you bring from home, right?
Yeah.
Figure out the internet access because sometimes that's your only way to get contact with the outside world. So figuring that out and making sure you you can have contact with your people from home because it's scary and you want that support of somebody who really knows you.
Yeah.
Do FaceTime, you know, that kind of stuff so that you're still connected. Because when you're in some of these communities, you can really feel disconnected and lonely. And obviously it affects your mental health. So taking care that way is really important.
Making that a priority.
Yeah, totally. Exercise, if that's something really important to you, find a walking route. Bring an exercise DVD, you know, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yoga mat, that sort of thing. Because that's the balance in these communities. And you could be gone for a month and think, oh, I'm only going to be gone for 30 days. And then a storm happens and you can't fly out of these communities. So just be prepared.
Yeah.
Like a Cub Scout, be prepared.
But overall, how's your experience been with Solutions Staff?
I've been very happy with them. They're one of my favorite employers. I have many, but I really like them. They're very supportive. There's not been an issue with pay. They're very generous. They're very they care about their nurses and they check in on them. They want you to check in with them, and I feel like that's very generous and very kind, and you feel like somebody cares which highway you're on. And that's really important for feeling safe on the job and getting to and from the job. So it sort of takes the stress out of having another employer, because you know that they're going to get back to you. You know that they're going to respond to a problem that you're having and figure out how to help you through it. Like, oh, talk to this person, or oh, send an email to this person, and then they get back to you right away. Like, it's the communication is really quick, and so you're not left waiting, you know. Yeah, they're 24/7 and they need to be, and I'm grateful that they are, because you feel like somebody cares where you are, right? And that you're safely getting there and getting home. Like, they make sure that you get back home too, so that's really important. The nature of the pandemic that's happening now, it's really important that I think the mental health aspect, if you are on assignment or if you're going to go on assignment, making sure to have those resources at hand to keep you connected with your people is super important. Yeah. Because you can get into a state where you feel quite isolated and then stay isolated, and that's not going to help you, right? It's not going to help you on the job. It's not going to help you in your life. This is part of your life in the grand scheme of things. This is one part of it, and it's an amazing part of it, but making sure you have the longevity, because you don't want to do an assignment and feel that way and not do it again, because there's so much to explore. As we've talked about, you can do all sorts of things with this job and with travel nursing, and there's so many opportunities you would miss if you gave up on it because of the mental health piece, right? The support is there, it really is, and so just make sure you have your support plus the support of Solutions, which, you know, they want to make sure you're successful. They don't want to see you fail. So it's there. Just take it.
Definitely. George Clooney would be proud.
Oh yes, of course he would.